Kioma was known by everyone. Her beauty was not the loud kind. It was soft and radiant, the type that made people turn twice just to be sure of what they had seen. Old women blessed her whenever she passed. Children followed her laughing. Young men brought baskets of yam, bottles of palm oil, and freshly slaughtered chickens to her family's door, hoping for a smile or a kind word. At first, Kioma remained humble. She greeted elders with respect and shared food with neighbors. When the gifts became too many, she sent some away to widows and struggling families. People praised her not just for her looks, but for her heart. But admiration is a sweet wine. When one drinks too much, the head begins to spin. Slowly, Kioma changed. She began to walk with her chin lifted higher. Her greetings became shorter. She laughed less with other girls and started measuring people by what they could place in her hands. The same young men she once thanked now waited long hours at her gate, only to be turned away. Then Chief Ibu arrived. Chief Ibu was a man whose name carried weight far beyond the village boundary. His compound was surrounded by high walls. His cars were always dusty from long journeys, and his wealth was legendary. Though his beard had gone gray and his steps had slowed with age, his pockets were deep, and he knew it. The first gift he sent was a small box containing gold earrings. The second was a bundle of new wrappers. The third was an envelope so thick Kioma's fingers trembled when she held it. From that day, her world shifted. She began visiting the chief's compound in the evenings, returning late with perfume on her clothes and soft laughter in her throat. Soon the young men stopped coming. Why compete with a man who could buy anything? Kioma stopped pretending to care. She mocked those who warned her. Old women shook their heads when they saw her passing in fine fabrics. One afternoon, as she strutted across the village square, two elderly women stopped her. "My daughter," one said gently, "do not build your house on another woman's tears. Chief Ibu's wife is not an ordinary woman." Chioma laughed. "Is it her husband that feeds me?" she snapped. "Let her face her own life." The women exchanged troubled looks. They had seen things before. They knew stories of girls who had entered that wealthy compound and returned broken, blind, or scarred, if they returned at all. But Kioma refused to listen. For 2 months she lived in luxury. She ate expensive food, wore shiny sandals, and carried herself like royalty. Pride wrapped itself around her heart so tightly she could no longer feel danger. Then one afternoon, danger came looking for her. It was a market day when the chief's wife arrived. She did not come with noise. She did not shout. She walked straight into the compound where Kioma sat beneath a mango tree, sipping a drink. Her wrapper was dark. Her eyes were colder. Before Kioma could stand, the woman flung a container toward her face. The scream tore through the air. Liquid fire burned into Kioma's skin. She fell to the ground, clawing at her face, rolling in the dust, crying for water, for mercy, for death. In the chaos, Chief Ibu ran out of the house, shouting, but his wife had come prepared. In the confusion that followed, he collapsed. By the time villagers rushed in, the wealthy chief lay still on the ground, dead. The woman was held down, screaming curses as men dragged her away. The police came. She was taken in chains. Kioma was rushed to the hospital, her face wrapped in bloody cloth, her cries growing weaker by the hour. She did not die. That was the cruelest part. When she returned to the village weeks later, people did not recognize her. The girl whose beauty once stopped conversations now hid behind the scarves. Children stared before their mothers pulled them away. People whispered not in admiration, but in fear and pity. 2 weeks later, Kioma discovered she was pregnant. She sat alone in her room holding the test, shaking. The child belonged to a dead man. Tears soaked her wrapper as regret flooded her heart. No more gifts, no more visitors, no more praise, only silence. People avoided her path. Girls who once envied her now mocked her behind their hands. Some said her suffering was punishment. Others said she had brought it upon herself. At night, Kioma lay awake, listening to the sounds of the village that once loved her. Her face burned. Her heart burned worse. She remembered the elders' warnings. She remembered the young men she had despised. She remembered the girl she used to be. But time does not walk backward. And beauty, once trusted as a shield, had become the knife that cut deepest. Thanks for watching. Follow for more.